This is the La Mesa proposal. You can just pass this around so people can see the La Mesa proposal. And this is the San Diego proposal. You can just pass it around so people can take a look at it, see exactly what we're proposing. Copy of the San Diego proposal. Anybody want a copy of the proposal? You guys good? Everybody good?
Yep.
Yes. Anybody else? We got an extra proposal right. All right. We're gonna go ahead and begin. All right, let's do this. Good morning, San Diego. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're standing here today on a very special day, the birthday of our great champion, Bill Walton. And can we just begin? I just want to acknowledge Bill's beloved wife, Lori Walton, is here with us today.
Hey.
And I'm just going to ask if we can begin this announcement and proposed announcement by singing happy birthday to Bill. So on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bill. Happy birthday to you. So we're standing here today in the heart of a city that Bill Walton loved, and specifically in a community that Bill Walton loved, and a city that loved him and loves him right back. On this day, what would have been his 73rd birthday, we gather not just to remember Bill Walton, but to honor the way he lived and the way he always made us feel. Bill didn't just live in San Diego. He belonged to San Diego. From the courts at Helix High School to the hills of Mission Trails and the plains of Balboa Park, these park paths where he rode his bike with that unmistakable smile. Bill's story is written into the landscape of this place. He was a champion on the court, yes. But the truth is, Bill's greatest victories came along after the buzzer sounded. They came in every handshake, every conversation, every kid he stopped to encourage. They came when he chose to lift up his community, not just his teammates. That's why today, Shane Harris, myself, the Office of the Public Advocate, is proud to announce the proposal to name an honorary street in his memory, Bill Walton Way. And if you all feel a little something, you can clap, because Bill Walton was a joyful guy. From my first moments of connecting with Bill, it was very clear to me that this is someone who used the power he had, the resources he had, for good, to push for good, even when some didn't agree. I'll never forget our conversations around policy in our city, because Bill was as passionate about policy as he was about a three-point shot. He cared deeply about the direction our city was headed in. And so today, our first preferred location in 2 city proposals. First, I'm going to talk about the San Diego proposal, and then I'll talk about the La Mesa proposal. Right here in the city of San Diego, my office is proposing to rename a portion of Park Boulevard between Upas Street and Zoo Drive as the Honorary Bill Walton Way. That's this corridor here behind us. This stretch of road runs along the edge of Balboa Park, one of Bill's favorite routes to bike, to reflect, and reconnect with the world around him. It's where he found peace, purpose, and perspective. It's where San Diego can now find him forever. And I said forever because I want to emphasize forever. Legends don't die. And because these are a few names that represent San Diego's heart more completely than his, and there are few people who gave more of themselves to this city, its people, to its promise. Some years ago, my office launched what I call the Legacy Campaign to champion the efforts of ensuring that we as a city and as a region recognize those who went above and beyond, not just in their financial commitment to philanthropy and taxes, but those who have gone above and beyond to empower our communities to be better and do better. Bill is one of those individuals. Bill believed in the power of connection, of showing up. He gave his time, not just his money. He invested in people, not just projects. When the Mission Beach basketball and volleyball courts fell into disrepair here in the city of San Diego, because let's be honest, our city is broke, he didn't wait for someone else to act. He quietly paid for the full renovation himself of city basketball courts so kids and families could keep playing together by the ocean. When the YMCA needed, that's right, you can clap. Yeah. When the YMCA needed support, Bill was there, not only as a member, but as a mentor and an advocate. His bronze statue sits outside of the Mission Valley YMCA, stands not just for his recovery from injury, but for his belief that healing the body also heals the community. He helped launch youth programs, supported local schools, and championed San Diego sports innovators, mentoring entrepreneurs, and who built businesses rooted in wellness and inclusion. He lent his voice to causes around homelessness, public health, and the environment, showing up for the city's most vulnerable with that same passion he once brought to the court. Bill's generosity, you see, didn't just come from an obligation. It came from joy. He gave because he couldn't imagine not giving. And that's why this proposal doesn't stop here. We're submitting plans to honor Bill across the region, from these streets of his home, of the city of San Diego to his hometown in La Mesa. In San Diego, we're not just proposing as an option this corridor of Park Boulevard. We are also proposing sites in front of the Mission Valley YMCA. If you can look here to my right, you'll see that we're proposing that an Honorary Bill Walton Way, an option also there in front of the Mission Valley YMCA that sits just at the Friars Road and Calusa Street intersection, all the way to the Friars Road and Napa Street corridor. And that's a portion also of Friars Road that we're proposing as a secondary option. We are also proposing an option in District 9, Councilmember Shawnee Lo Rivera's district, to rename the basketball courts Bill Walton Courts at Colina del Sol Recreation Center. Because of Bill learned how to play basketball in District 9. And so that's a unique connection there. And as many of you in the media who have received my office's proposal, you can see that we have proposed a variety of locations across the city as options here in San Diego. And the reason why we did that is because there are only 2 honorary street names that can be designated by each council offices every 4-year term. We also did that to ensure that we didn't close ourselves off to options in regard to our efforts to get Bill this great honor. In La Mesa, We're working to expand his Walk of Fame display as an option, but most uniquely to create a Bill Walton Square, a place where future generations can learn about the kid who started shooting hoops at Helix High and ended up inspiring the world. And so as you can see to my left, you'll see the Honorary Bill Walton Square being proposed there on University Avenue at the intersection there in front of Helix High School. I'm proud to announce today that I've already heard from the city of La Mesa, and my office has been given word that my proposal will in fact be coming before the city council at a future council meeting soon. And I want to thank La Mesa Mayor and La Mesa Council members for being willing to bring this forth. Bill Walton Square is a place that is so deeply connected to his high school years. See, this isn't just about nostalgia. It's about setting examples. It's about showing our young people and the next generation what greatness looks like when it's grounded in gratitude, when success is measured not by titles or trophies, but by how much you give back. If you knew Bill, you knew he was larger than life, but he never wanted to stand above anyone. He wanted to stand with everyone. He talked to anyone, right anywhere, give his last ounce of energy to make someone else's day a little brighter. He'd stay. He'd say, San Diego isn't just where I live, it's who I am. And you felt that. He embodied that belief in that this city, our city, can be more compassionate, more united, more joyful. And I want to thank Lori Walton and the entire Walton family for being here today and for sharing Bill with all of us.
Yeah, thank you.
Your family's strength and openness made it possible for thousands of San Diegans to feel like Bill was a part of their family too, and we're forever grateful. This proposal, the Honorary Bill Walton Way, isn't just a street sign. It's a symbol. It's a reminder that the best of San Diego isn't found in a building or a skyline. It's found in people like Bill Walton who make this city feel like a family. So today we don't just mark his birthday, we mark a promise to carry forward his example of love, humility, and community. We'll ride that same road he rode. We'll keep building, keep giving, keep believing the way Bill always did. Thank you, Bill Walton. Thank you, Lori. And thank you, San Diego. And thank you, Big Red.
Yes.
At this time, let us hear from the beloved wife of Bill Walton, who's in support of this proposal issued by my office, Mrs. Lori Walton.
Hi, everyone. On behalf of the entire Walton family, I'd like to thank Shane Harris for coming up with this idea of an honorary street naming for Bill. Bill was an incredibly proud San Diegan, and even though his job required him to travel quite a bit, on the days that he was home, he really devoted his time to giving back to San Diego because Bill was the ultimate team player. And as a member of Bill's team, I'd like to once again thank Shane Harris for all of the time and effort he is putting into this honorary street naming for Bill. And I'm just hopeful that our city council agrees to Shane's proposal and it gets done. So thanks again, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And at this time, let us hear from Ted Leitner, a good longtime friend and a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Mr. Ted Leitner, let's give him a hand.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Lori. Big Red. Happy birthday, bud. Miss you every day. I never met anyone in my life in sports of about 60 years of that like Bill Walton. I remember being at a reception here with a bunch of coaches and players and so forth, UCLA, USC, and Bill was talking to John Robinson, the late head coach at USC many, many years ago, and I walked up after Bill had walked away, and I said to Coach Robinson, is he a piece of work? Is he unbelievable? And John said, you know, I just spent 10 minutes with him, but to me, he's the kind of guy that if he gets a flat tire, he would get out of the car and admire the three that still have air in them. That's a positive guy. That's the kind of guy that I would want playing for me, but he didn't get that. He was UCLA. And John also said to me, you know what, I'll tell you, I haven't spent that much time with him. I know you have, Ted. But if you get to heaven and Bill Walton is not there, you're not in heaven. You're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. This man, when I was doing San Diego State basketball, which ended last March, because I'm old, and I would hear invariably in games that I was on the radio, Bill was on television. And we had chatted before at the shoot around during the day, that day, and my phone would blow up during the game. That, hey, Bill Walton's talking about you on the television, on the telecast of the Aztecs. And I would always text these people back saying, yeah, I'll bet you he's talking about me for about 4 minutes, but I'll bet he's talking about San Diego for about 10, right? And they would invariably say, you got it, my city, my San Diego. And by the way, the greatest high school basketball player ever was Bill Walton. Not just in San Diego, but ever, anywhere during the time he was at Helix. You know, Shaq could score, Kareem could score. There were many, many great bigs in basketball. But when you gave points for scoring, rebounding, defense, the greatest passing center of all time, greatest court sense and eye and vision of the court, Bill Walton, if you gave points for each of those categories, he, to me, is the greatest big man in college and the National Basketball Association. You have to understand, nobody in the world who loved life more than this guy. And quite frankly, I was kind of his yin, I was the yang, because I came from a family where it was complaining and all that, and Bill would not hear that. He would not hear that. We were together one time, and I complained about the Padres. Bill, it's my 10th consecutive year of a bad team. And Bill taught me and said, you know what? Don't complain. Half the people don't want to hear your complaints and your problems, and the other half are glad you got them. So don't. Just put a sock in it, Ted. You're here today, and that happened. That happened. I had not talked to him about what affliction he had when the rumors circulated around his beloved San Diego that he was sick. And so I called him, and I said, Red, tell me you're okay. Tell me you're going to be okay. And he said, Teddy, I'm alive today. It's a great day. Everything's fine. And he was gone a week later. That was Bill's final comment to me, and I thought, typical Bill. Positive. Everything's positive. Bill made one mistake. He always told me his biggest regret was that he let his beloved San Diego down when the Clippers gave up a big part of their core to trade for him, and it was a huge thing. The excitement level here was unbelievable. Had those big billboards of the back of his Clipper jersey saying, Bill's back, Walton's back, and we were nuts. We were crazy. But those legs, those feet, we've had 37 surgeries. You remember Bill's comments? No such thing as minor surgery. Minor surgery is that on somebody else, not you. 37, including rebuilding his spine at the end. But he always told me, I let San Diego down by being hurt. Bill, listen to me. You didn't let them down. You would never let them down. The owner was going to move that franchise to Los Angeles anyway, as he did. No matter how healthy you were, it did not matter. So I say to the city council, to the mayor, board of supervisors, La Mesa, everybody Shane talked about. Bill thought he let you down. He did not. Now, don't let him down. Let's get this proposal done. No one in the world could speak in this community, not in front of me, against Bill Walton. This has to be done and should be done across this community for what he did. I thank you very much.
Yeah. You said it.
Thank you, Ted. All right, I'll take questions at this time. I do want to say I'm a resident of District 3. I live on the Bankers Hill side, and you know I have spoken to Councilmember Whitburn, and so there's an ongoing dialogue there in regard to getting this done. We just completed the Willie Morrow Way street naming in Canto, and that took 3 years. And the reason, and I've explained earlier why these processes can be so challenging, but today we're beginning a process. And so I want to make that clear. We also will have a petition going up on change.org that will be launched later today. And so we're asking many San Diegans and people all over the country to sign that change.org petition. We want to send a unified message that this should be done and should get done. And that's our hope, is to get this done as soon as possible.
Yes.
So Lori, as I told the family of Willie Morrow and the family of Tayati Howard and Lemon Grove, I'm committed to working with you and all of our city to get this done. And if it takes a year, if it takes 2 years, if it takes 3 years, my hope and belief is that we will be standing here or in another area of the city of San Diego, and we will soon be standing in La Mesa unveiling the Bill Walton Square in La Mesa. But here in the city of San Diego, we're committed to working to get this done, and we're not going to stop until we've paved a way somewhere to recognize Bill. Bill gave too much to this city for us to not at least honor him with some designation, and that's the point of this whole situation. So thank you, Lori, for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you all. I'll take any questions now from the media.
What would Bill say if he was here, being the unselfish man that he is, about proposals to name these streets?
Bill would say, I don't need no street. I believe he would say that. I think Lori can answer it more clearly, but yeah.
You know, one of the things I loved most about Bill was he was all about the team. He was really uncomfortable with individual attention, and I think he would be kind of embarrassed by the street naming, but inside I think he would secretly be very happy. So thank you very much.
Further questions? As I did state earlier, I did hear from both 3 council members in La Mesa and the mayor. That proposal is moving forward in La Mesa. So when we unveil Bill Walton Square in La Mesa, we certainly will be holding a big ceremony, and we certainly want to invite all of you to be there for that. That will be the first time that has happened. But here in the city of San Diego, like I said, we're working actively. I have heard from Councilmember Sean Elo Rivera's office, and there is a meeting that we're going to be having with Councilmember Elo Rivera's office regarding the proposal in his council district. And we're also hearing from other districts as well. So this is an ongoing effort. And I want to thank you all for being here, and want to wish Bill Walton a happy 73rd birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that concludes our news conference. Thank you. Photographer wants to get a quick picture of everybody.
I just want to get a group picture.
Right here's good.